Hello my friends, if you're anything like me and you're always looking for a little link to use in necklaces and earrings and bracelets, but you're a little bit stuck sometimes as to what to do, look no further. Look at this cute little double bow tie link, and if you want to learn how to make this, stick with me. So here we go my friends, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Sam and I live in the northwest of England, a beautiful little town in Lancashire, and I make pretty things which aids my mental health, and it means that it keeps me busy, keeps me out of trouble, which is necessary. So this week I've been making these little links and they are so versatile, you can use them for all sorts of things. I love them, and I've been making chain with them. I've been making bracelets, earrings. Now these little spiders are from the Check Beads exclusive October box. If you're interested in that subscription box, I'll leave all the information in the description box below. And this little chap here, this little kitty, was also from that box. So I've made myself an appetite chip bracelet, which I thought worked really well with this shiny little guy here. Even though I have a dog, I've always had cats in my life up until, relatively recently. So I thought a little kitty might be cute. So that's my Halloween jewellery made for this year. I shall also be wearing my spiders. If you are interested in making some spiders for your ears, I'll leave a link up here somewhere, which I came up with last year. So let's have a look at the ingredients that we need to make these pretties. So 1mm bare copper wire, that's 18 gauge. I would suggest 1mm is a good one. You probably get away with 16 gauge if you have strong fingers, and you probably get away with 20 gauge if you want something a little bit more delicate. All right, but it won't be as sturdy. All right, so that's just one thing to bear in mind. If you're interested in knowing in the UK where I get my wire from, I'm not sponsored by these people at all, but I'll leave a link in the description box below. They make super wires. It's a scientific wire company. What else? All you're going to need really is your tools. That's it. A pair of chain nose, your snippers, and a 6-step bow making plier. Or you can use your round nose if you are very proficient, which I'm not. So I make no bones about it. I am very much a beginner. This channel is basically me chatting and you joining me for the ride, really. So let's get on and make one of these or a couple of these links so I can show you how to make them. So I've worked out that each one of these takes approximately 5.5 inches, 14 centimeters for us in the European area, and for you who use imperial, it's 5.5 inches, give or take. Now I like to have a little bit too much wire to play with because I don't like wrapping wire with short pieces because it makes my fingers hurt. So 14.5 centimeters. I'm using the 4th step today, which is 5mm increment on my mandrel. But you could, you could make these in various sizes, actually. So we put, let me just get this to show you. So we're going to be making this one, okay? So you put your wire along your plier, about 1/3, 2/3, something along that kind of line. Wind your wires around, like so. Long bit underneath, although I don't suppose it matters much. If you're left-handed, you could, change things around a little bit. So we have this shorter end, longer end in this shape. Pop your plier back in and butt it up to there, yeah? And then wind around again. So we have this kind of shape. But don't stop there, let's keep going. Reset your pliers and wind things around twice. Now this just basically means that you have to just keep your pliers mobile so that you can wind things around twice. So we kind of have this, and then pop your pliers back in, wind things around like so, pop it back on, and wind around double. So we have this here. So we've got a double loop, yeah, and a wire coming out either side. Let you have a look at that. So that's what it should look like. It does involve you moving your pliers in and out a little bit. I'll do it again in a second, just so you can see what I'm doing. So this is what we have. So we want to bend these wires underneath or over the top, whichever. All right, so let me get my, where are they? You can use nylon jaw if you want to, you know, to hold your wire so that you don't mar it, which is a good idea. And you bend that wire over the top, turn it round and bend this wire over the top like so. So that we have this. Now obviously if you want to, you can use shorter pieces of wire. I just choose to use the longer pieces just because that's just me. Okay, and then you want to snip. If I can bring this up in close, I will do. You want to snip around about here because, there we go, snip, you see that? And then snip about here. Because what we do now is we come in with our chain nose and we just squeeze those down into place, which holds everything together. So there is our little double figure of 8 or bow tie or whatever link. Now what I like to do sometimes, I've found this week, is to separate these a little bit. So if you want to get your nail in or your plier or whatever, you know, you can bring your plier in and just give it a little bit of a separate, you can separate them a little, yeah, so that we have this, and then just bend things, grasp in the middle to make sure that things don't separate too much. And we've got quite a sort of a structural piece there. Okay, you see that? So we've got a little link, which is sort of, you know, more structural. Or you can leave it flat, like I've done with these. Although you can separate them slightly if you wanted to, yeah? And make all sorts of pretty things out of them, like these earrings. I mean, they are literally along the line of the figure of 8, but I liked the fact that they were double and you can separate them like so. You can use them for bracelets. I mean, you could even, you know, place them next to each other, you know, and make a bracelet around with jump rings, which I think I probably will do. So I'll just go through that one more time. Short one this week. We've all got busy lives, haven't we? And there's a lot going on in the Samantha Latimer household at the moment. Hope you guys are all okay. The world's treating you all right. Strange world these days. But, you know, this jewellery making lark, it brings us together, I think, doesn't it? Yeah? What do you think? Leave me a message in the comments and let me know what you're doing, what you're making. So 2/3 and 1/3. Okay? Wind it around, wind this guy underneath. So we have this shape here. Take your plier out and literally butt it up against, like so. And wind it around over the top. So you have this shape, like a normal figure of 8. But let's keep going, let's make a double. So you just move your pliers around and bend these guys around double. Just means you taking your pliers in and out like so, back in, oops, back in, in and out like so. And that's our double link made. Okay, Super cute, super easy, perfect for making all sorts of links for necklaces and bracelets. Hold with your pliers and bend it. The wire will show you which way to bend it. So this one here, I will bend it slightly away, turn it around. This one here will bend slightly away. And there we have our double loop link. Isn't that pretty? Come in with your pliers, snip about here, and then snip about here, and then use your chain nose just to smush things into place and make things secure. And that, my friends, is the little double link. So use it like this. Really stable. If you're wanting to make a long chain of them, you can do, or you can split them apart slightly like so and make something a little bit more structural. All right, so I hope you enjoy making those. Like I said, quick one this week. I'm very busy doing all sorts of other things. I'm actually in the process of making a kawandi, which is a quilt. I don't know if you follow other channels apart from jewellery making, but I'm teaching myself to sew as well. So at the moment I'm making a kawandi, which I might show you at some point in a future video if you're interested. And I will speak to you very soon. Enjoy making these fun little things, and I'll speak to you soon.